This is a really tough video to make. I've already tried to film this like 3 times. There's so much that I want to say, and I want to say it in the right way, and I want this video to be helpful to others. And I know that it will. So let's just get into it. Then from this video, I want you to learn to believe in yourself, have faith in your intuition, trust the divine, know that you are divinely guided and that you are resilient and you can make it through any challenge that you are currently going through. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Malika. If you're new here, if you're not, hey, welcome back to my channel. I know I already said that, but welcome back. Anyway, if you're new here, welcome. Okay, so anyways, like I said, my name is Malika, and as you can see by the title, I'm gonna be talking about something very heavy today. So yeah, I hope you got time, because I don't know how long this video is gonna be, so I hope you have time. But we're gonna get really real, and that's, you know, what this channel is mostly about, me being who I am and all of that. Anyway, so let's just get into it. All right, so a while back, you guys seen that I made a video. It was kind of vlogish style, but it was about decision fatigue. And in that video, I had mentioned when you guys see if you got lipstick on your teeth. Anyways, in that video, I had mentioned that I wanted to move. And so I was looking at different areas. I was looking at Phoenix, Arizona. I was looking at Las Vegas, Nevada. I was looking at Nashville, Tennessee, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Huntsville, Alabama, Savannah, Georgia, and those were about all the places. But anyways, I wanted to move. And the reason why I wanted to move is because okay, let's rewind this back. Back when I was in my first apartment, that one that was 500 square feet, I didn't share that with y'all, but it was 500 square feet, and I was grateful for it. Anyways, my lease came up, and I didn't want to renew because I wasn't really happy with that place. So I found the place that I was like, how I manifested my new apartment or whatever video. And I found that place as I was waiting for actually this place that I'm currently in right now. So it's funny how you plant a seed, and sometimes it takes a while for you to get there. And there will be a message in this video, because there's a message in all of my videos. But anyway, so these places that I'm currently in were being built. So I inquired about them, and I was kind of getting the runaround. They were saying that they were going to be available sooner than they actually were. And that's just due to there was inclement weather and just not actually knowing the timeline that they were on. But anyways, I'm telling you all of this. I gotta tell y'all the backstory so you'll understand. So I was kind of getting the runaround, and my lease came up, so I had to find a place to move. So that's how I found the place that I was last at. Anyways, I moved in, and of course I was grateful. Who isn't going to be grateful for a roof over the head? But as I moved in, I noticed that there were some drawbacks to living there. Maintenance wasn't that great. Management was rude. The laundry room was disgusting most of the time. They had advertised my unit as central heat and air, and when I actually got in the unit, yes, I did tour the unit, but some of the units still have the old, like, in the window ACs, even though they're central. So I just was like, oh, okay, you know, they haven't removed this yet. But actually, come to find out, it wasn't that, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just deal with it. The way the utilities was set up was crazy, because they were basically, everybody was just having to evenly divide the utilities. So the utilities would be very astronomically high because it wasn't based off of your usage. So that was another issue. And then dogs and just noise all times of the night, lots of partying, and dogs being left on the porch all day and all night and whining and just like howling at the moon and howling at the window and stuff like that, because they wanted to be let back in and their owners wasn't doing it. I did inquire about how to resolve the issue. They was like, oh, you have to call animal control, we can't do anything about this. And it was just a mess. Like, it wasn't conducive, it wasn't inspiring me, it just annoyed me, and I couldn't get good sleep. I could not sleep. Like, everything was just 100% annoying the crap out of me. So I knew that I didn't want to renew my lease. So anyways, I ended up just not renewing my lease. I didn't have any prospects or whatever. I was looking around town, and I just couldn't find anywhere. And for those of you that don't know, I live in Colorado, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say, because I've had incidents where people have been extremely nosy, and yeah, that's all I'm saying. So anyways, I was looking, things weren't in my price range, you know. During COVID, instead of the rent prices going down, everything went up. And I am on a budget, and I'm not, you know, ashamed to say it. I'm on a budget. So I couldn't really find anything in my place that was suiting my fancy. So it had got down to the nitty gritty, and I started looking outside of state. I started looking in Las Vegas, Nevada. I started looking in Phoenix, Arizona, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Nashville, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama, just to name a few places that I was looking. I still wasn't really able to find anything. And then planning an out-of-state move was crazy. Anyways, I couldn't really find anything. So I had just planned to move back to my home state. I was raised in Georgia, so I was going to move back to Georgia, and just try to deal with it. I didn't really want to be there, but I had to kind of figure things out, right? So I had made arrangements to move back to Georgia, plane ticket. I had movers, car shipment, everything. And literally like maybe 3 days, well, we won't say that, maybe 4 days, 4 or 5 days before I was slated to or scheduled to move out of my apartment, I got a call from the apartment complex that I'm currently in. And I was like, I just made all these plans and stuff like that. So I was wrestling back and forth, but I decided to go out on a limb. Now, there was no guarantee that I was going to get this place. I had originally inquired about this place back in November or December of 2020. So I heard from them in July because they had openings, but I didn't make the, I didn't, people were, it was first come, first serve. And even though I emailed them back in 30 minutes, you know, those people became ahead of me. So anyways, I just got it out of my mind that this place wasn't for me. If it was, Spirit would really tell me. And of course that made me feel down and stuff like that, because I really wanted this place. It's new construction, so nice, had everything that I wanted in a place, right? But I just figured maybe I'm being moved in a different direction, or whatever. I'm gonna put my glasses on, y'all, because I can't. Whew, I really do. Once you wear glasses and you realize you need them, like, it's it's not that I even have that poor vision. It's just like I be wanting to see in HD. Okay? Anyway, so I just had it out of my mind. And of course that made me really sad. And I just, you know, I didn't really want to move back home. And I've been working on myself. If you've been following this channel, you know I've been really diving deep into self-development and self-love. And that's what I do. That is what I'm good at. That's what I help people with. And that's what I did for myself. So my whole life I had been in this kind of awakening process since, I will say, 2018, but it didn't really start to hit me hard and me really doing the actual hardcore work until I was divorcing. And anyways, my life just kind of went in this direction, you know. But anyway, so I did all of that, and I said, can I have 24 hours to think it over? I really didn't need to think it over, but it was just like I had already made all these plans to move out of the state, and I was just like, oh my God. So I kind of slept on that. I called my dad, who, you know, is somebody I always confide in, and it makes me sad when I think about that, because your parents are always going to be there. And I haven't always had the best relationship with my family. I've had a good overall relationship with my dad, but I would definitely consider myself a daddy's girl, even though I march to the beat of my own drum. So even me and daddy get into it, because I'm just like, independent, you raised me to be that way. I march to the beat of my own drum. I'm doing things my own way. But anyways, so I called and I was just like, you know, I feel like I should do this. And it was just, you know, getting that moral support back. So I canceled all of my plans. I canceled the car shipment. I canceled the movers coming. I canceled all of that. And I just went off on a limb and was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I've wanted this, and I'm just going to see. You ain't sure, because y'all know. I'm just going to see what happens. So anyways, I had to get my stuff out of the apartment. So I called U-Haul with U-Haul boxes, and I moved all my stuff into U-Haul box, which is like this storage thing. So all my stuff was in a U-Haul box, 2 boxes, and I moved out the apartment. And I filmed clips of me, like, with my experience, but I just felt like it would be easier if I just make one whole video. Yeah, this video is going to be longer, so you might have to come back and, you know, watch this in sections. But yeah, so my movers came on Friday the 27th of August, so I had to sleep in my apartment Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night on a blow-up mattress while I cleaned out the apartment and everything. And then I booked a hotel room. Now, some people will argue with me and say that's not being homeless, but any time you're houseless, like without permanent housing, that is being homeless. People live in their cars, that's still being homeless. Any form of non-real shelter is being homeless, in my opinion. I know that I still had a roof over my head, and I'm grateful for that, but that was still homelessness. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. Anyways, so I was packing up my car and everything on August the 30th because I checked into my hotel room and everything like that. It was a really tough couple of weeks. I didn't know how long this process was going to take. It took about 3 weeks because they were still finishing this apartment, and cleaning it and everything like that. And there was a lot of paperwork involved. And I booked the hotel room for a week, and then it was very slow and painful. Like the progress was very slow and painful. And during that time, I had to do some deep, like I feel like I was closing up my dark night of the soul. Like I feel like I was closing. If you don't know about that, that's like a very dark period in your life where you're really going through a spiritual awakening and stuff like that, and learning some difficult lessons and stuff. I feel like I was kind of finishing up that during that process, like all the stuff that I had been through with other people and with myself and my childhood. And I also feel like my faith was being tested. Like, are you really committed to this journey? Are you really committed to understanding that we have your back? We have your best interests at heart. I even feel like I kind of went offline psychically and spiritually for a minute, because I was just like, whoa, I can't hear, I can't feel, I can't see, I mean, they were guiding me every step of the way, but it just felt like, ooh, this is a test. We're testing you. And like, my faith was being tested. Like, are you gonna fold? Are you gonna fold when the going gets tough, or are you gonna keep going? Trusting us, trusting in the divine, God, whatever you believe in. I'm just telling you what I believe in, all of that. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna trust it, because inherently, I believe when you trust in the divine, you're trusting in yourself, because you are of God. I mean, people will argue with me about that, but I am God, because if I am created in the image of God, then that means there's a little piece of God within us all. That's why we're able to manifest. That's why we're able to be connected, okay, in that deep sense of way. And if you don't believe about that, then, you know, let's not argue about it. It's not that serious. But oh my God, I had to constantly ground myself, and this fatigue would come into my stomach area, and I was constantly grounding and stuff, and I was shivering and shaking, and just like, I just needed. And during the time of like waiting, I was also learning more lessons about self-love and about worth and expectations and patterns. That's why all those videos was coming to you guys about patterns and stuff like that, because I was learning about my own patterns in life and the cycles that I was breaking. I was breaking a major cycle in my life of not believing in myself, not putting myself out there, not truly loving myself, not being authentically who I am. And it didn't just happen during those 3-week period. It had been happening. You guys have seen this transition kind of happen on my channel, where I've kind of like gone through this, and now it's like that was the ending of that cycle. Something that I had began to manifest in in December of 2020 had come around full circle in August of 2021. Isn't that is just it's so crazy. And that's another reason why I was preaching about patterns, because oftentimes we think that our manifestations will come like this, but sometimes it takes time. And it's crazy that my manifestation of this apartment came to me as the season was transitioning into fall. Now it's fall. I got this apartment, signed the lease on September 24th. That number is very significant to me. It breaks down to a 6. 6 is all about balance, harmony, inspiration, creativity, love. That allows me to know that what's going to happen in my home space as a Cancer moon, because Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, or it's considered the mother of the zodiac. It's associated with the home and the family. For me, my home is my sanctuary. So me moving on that date, and that date also having other significance in my life, lets me know that this place is going to be a place of inspiration and all the other characteristics that I just said. But anyways, going back to it, I initially scheduled for a week at the extended stay, then it would come down and I wouldn't really hear anything back, and I would have to schedule another week, and then progress would be made, and then it would come to a painful stop, and it just seemed like I was having to kind of like purge all these different things that had just been thrown at me throughout my entire life. I was purging but I was also having to, I want to use the word inflict, but that's not the word. I was purging everything that needed to be purged in my life, because I felt like I'm coming to the end of this dark night of the soul awakening type of process, where I literally purged childhood trauma, relationship trauma, abandonment trauma, not believing in myself, and the list goes on, in my gifts and my abilities. I was purging, but at the same time, I feel like Spirit was testing me to utilize every tool that I had learned along that process. There was people I was having to place boundaries with. There were people I was ending relationships with for the complete and total end of the relationship. Like, I'm never opening this door again. Okay, I was having to show. I was having to show my personal strength. I love the strength card when it talks about this for those of my people who watch tarot, and I do have a tarot channel. It's linked in the description box, which I'm going to be making changes to that as well too. I think I'll talk about that in another video. But I do have a specific tarot channel, but I'm not going to not talk about tarot on this channel. So anyway, what was I saying? Like, I was having to put my tools into practice. And also I was having to recognize that I am gifted and that I do have this purpose to help kind of be a lighthouse for other people on their journey of self-development, spirituality, self-love, going through challenging times. Because I virtually did this on my own, you all. Like, I virtually did this. I had the support of my dad, my sister, and my soul family. But I had no tangible support really where I actually am. My family's all the way in Georgia. My soul family is scattered out and about. And my soul family are people that you connect with on the soul level, in case you didn't know. But I had no physical people around me helping me. I did this alone. I went through a lot of things alone. And I feel like Spirit was having me to do that because, as I've been telling you guys in previous videos, I am an intuitive life coach. And I will be unveiling my services soon. But I'm still working on them. I'm still working on all of that. But Spirit was preparing me for my purpose. Let me say that again. Spirit was preparing me for my purpose. I've been through anything you can imagine. Not even in this earth, I've been through things. And I talked about this in my childhood trauma video. My mother was a former drug addict, and while pregnant with me, she was doing drugs. So before I even got on this earth, I already was having a traumatic experience, and that traumatic experience kept going and going and going and going and going, and I carried all those wounds of not believing in myself and being the black sheep. I was always different. I was never ever really fit in. I was always being picked on for being super sensitive. My nickname literally when I moved to Georgia was Crybaby. So, you know, I was always sensitive. People will say empath or highly sensitive person. I was always able to read the situation or read people and see into people, and that kind of scared people off because they always like, you're so intense and you're always trying to, my dad calls it psychoanalyze, and it's not, it just comes naturally. Like, that is my gift. That's probably why I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and why I'm now going to be a life coach, and why I'm so into self-development and self-love and metaphysics and spirituality and transcendence and self-actualization. It's because I'm naturally good at those things. And I am going to toot my own horn, because from somebody who didn't believe in themselves and didn't see the value that they brought and wanted to fit in, I'm tooting my own horn from now on. And I'm doing it in a way that is humble, but it's time for me to praise myself. Okay? And yes, this video is about many other things other than me going through my brief period of homelessness. And my heart goes out to those who are extendedly homeless, because I see it happening all the time. And as a veteran, I see it happening to us veterans a lot. And as a Black American person, I see it happening to us a lot too. It's happening to everybody, but I'm just saying, like, if you break it down, you can see it happening in so many ways. But yeah, I'm coming into my own. And that's what this journey, and that me going through that brief period of homelessness was the culmination. It was the putting the tools to the test situation for me. I'm not going to dim my light for anybody anymore. I know that I'm not going to be for everyone. I'm gonna be weird, y'all. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be unique. Other people will try to get in the comments and say, you're not weird, you're unique. Weird is not a bad term to me. I am weird. I am unique. I am eccentric. And I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. But now I'm not afraid to be who I truly am. Be that authentic person. One day you're getting, I'm saying this in a lighthearted way. One day you're getting Dr. Malika, the one doing all this life coaching and all that, you know. And the other day you're getting fun, bubbly Malika. That's my Gemini rising. And then you're just getting me, you know, very resilient, hardworking, Scorpio, private, and not really sharing a whole bunch of stuff. Going off the grid for a while, you know, wellness Malika, because got Scorpio in my 6th house, which is all about work and routines and health. So I'm always transforming there, and I'm really into all of that, and I want to be as healthy as I possibly can with a little sugar on the side, because chocolate is life. Okay? But anyways, through my darkest moment, and I think that I've had dark moments throughout this dark night of the soul. Getting over my divorce, getting over my ex, then meeting other people after the fact that were similar and teaching me other lessons about self-worth, self-value, and self-love. We'll just put it under self-love. And me finally sticking up for myself and being comfortable with who I am, and not, and being able to forgive everyone and move forward with my life has been the most rewarding experience. I was so scared at times during this homelessness period, but I pushed myself past it. I pushed myself past it. And through that, I found some of the biggest inspiration for my coaching and stuff that I want to do in the future. And I'm not afraid to live my life now. I was so afraid to live my life and be who I was and be who I am. I was so afraid to go out there and experience things. I'm thirsty. It says be grateful, in case you were wondering. And this tea is Tazo sweet cinnamon spice. This would be good with some creamer in it. But I'm proud of myself for not crying. Y'all, I cried so many tears. I cried real ugly tears. In losing everything, not having shelter over my head, I gained everything. I started a fresh new chapter in my life where the pages are not defined by who I was in the past, what I experienced in the past, who I was with. They're not defined by that anymore. This is a fresh slate for me. This is a beautiful new beginning for me. I'm grateful to be in this space. I'm grateful for this roof over my head. I'm grateful I made it through what I consider my dark night of the soul. And I'm so excited to see what happens. I'm ready to enjoy my life. I'm still in the thick of my Saturn return, which I'll do a separate video. My Saturn return it's winding down, but I'm still in the thick of it. It's winding down. And like I said, I found my purpose going through all of this. And this wasn't no overnight process, y'all. But a lot of the extensive work that was done happened in the last 6 months. So I did a lot of transformational work, a lot of death and rebirth. And one of my rewards was this apartment that I'm in. And I'm forever grateful. Forever grateful for this. I'm so excited. I don't know where this new chapter is going to take me, but I'm ready to enjoy life like I never had before. I'm ready to love in all types of ways, romantically, friendship, soul family, strangers, just, I'm ready. I've come a long way from that little girl who hid herself away, who was not really ever supported in the way that she deserved nor needed. She didn't know how to love herself. She didn't know. She closed herself out from the world. She was trying to people please, chase after people that didn't need to be chased after, stay too long in relationships that didn't need to be stayed in. She was unkind to herself, cruel at times. And now she's free. And it's scary still, but it's exciting. So I think I'm going to end the video here. But it was not easy, y'all. It was not easy. I cried so many tears. I purged so much stuff from my childhood and my past relationships to get where I am today. And I've poured myself out in each and every video that I've been doing, that is especially of the self-love, self-development kind of journey. Those were real. That was real. That was me learning and growing. And as I continue to learn and grow, I'm going to keep sharing. Okay? So being homeless taught me to let go of those things for real that don't need to be held on to energetically and physically. And it taught me how to live more presently and how to allow new energy to take form in your life. And you know you're doing something right when other people start reacting to how you are now changing yourself. When you start putting them boundaries up, when you start treating yourself differently, and others start having to treat you accordingly, you know you're doing the work. That's a gem for some of y'all. I love each and every one of you. I hope that this helped someone. I know that this was long, but it needed to be. I am safe, I am sound, and I am secure. Shout out to everybody who gave me moral support during this time. Thank you, God, for this roof over my head. Thank you, God, for this roof over my head. Thank you, God, for this roof over my head. I will always be grateful. It's a new chapter, y'all. I'm not finna cry. Although there have been tears. Kind of falling, but it's a new chapter, y'all. I hope you're ready for this new journey, because I am, and I can't wait to see you there. Peace and love. Bye.